Alright, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and get started with the space tutorial. So starting off, just a note that if you use Panda for levels 43 through 45, you probably want to switch back to Flashball now for space A. I recommend that you play at your comfort Flashball stats for space A through D. And then I definitely highly recommend playing Panda for space E if your flashball stats are too high for it to work with you. So, but yeah, I'll get to that in once I get to space E. So for now, I'll start at space A. I'll just assume that you're using the flashball with the stats you normally use. So, all right. Starting off with space A. Space A is a lot of just like, it isn't many routes. It's really just so you can do this skip, or you can just choose to not do the skip and just play it normally. So I'm just going to show off a lot of the skips now. So you start off the level by doing this, going to here. I'm going too slow because I want to show everything slowly, and I'm dying because of it. From here, a potential skip that you can do is, oh god, the camera's all screwed up. Wait, this is much better. Okay, so you can fall from this crystal here over to the part on the left of my side of my screen, right before the crystal. So here, I'll just show it off now. So fall from here over to here and land right here. I don't do this in runs, but I just wanted to show it off. Just because, so you can do that, or you can just do the start normally, which is what I usually do. Just fall down here, go over here, go around, get this, and go around. And you can obviously do that faster. You can kind of launch yourself over into the middle by going like this, just using the height of the platform, so you can kind of just go through it a bit faster, so just like this. So just take it at your own pace. So you get this crystal, fall in the cannon, and hit the checkpoint. And there's a small skip that you can do here. Jump backwards and left to get to the next crystal, and like this pretty much. So you can jump a bit more horizontally like that and land right here. Or you can just go through normally, whatever you're comfortable with. Just go through, get the crystal. Once you get the crystal, go through here, and then move on to the next possible skip that you can do. So once you get here, the next skip that you want to do is jump straight to the wall over there, and then stick to the wall. So you can see right in front of me, the wall with the two white white railings, right there. Just jump straight sideways, and then stick to the wall, like that. Fall down, get the crystal, and then don't die like I did. But here, I'll just show it off at real speed. Okay, I'm bad. There. Just jump straight right. Hit here. Get the crystal down here. And climb up the wall. Get the checkpoint and then fall through the middle. With the crystal there. I just want to show off another alternate route. If you don't want to do that, then you can also just go straight down normally, but there is another slightly easier skip that you can do. Doesn't save as much time, but you can kind of skip the first section of the spiral just by like falling right down here, and then just going around, and then getting the crystal down here, and then continuing the movement. That's probably the best intermediate skip that you can do. Just like go here, just fall down right. Oh, I got a collision and it kind of saved me. But yeah, I think I'm showing it off decently well. Just fall down right here, and then just keep going. You can probably fall down a bit lower, but I'd say that's probably the safest thing to go for. You can fall down here, but it's a bit more precise. Just try and fall down as far as you can for whatever seems comfortable with you. And you can skip this. But yeah, so once you get up here and then continue the movement, get the checkpoint, fall through here, go down, get this crystal, go through, slow down at the end of this magnet here. Oh jeez. This movement's a bit awkward to show off slowly. Get this crystal. Now there's one last optional skip that you can do. Fall straight to the path on the bottom left of my screen, and then go down to the goal. So like this. And then just fall straight to the goal. Which, yeah. I didn't really show it, because I didn't want to finish the level just yet. But yeah, the goal is right at the bottom, right of my screen right there. So you just fall to that path and go straight into the goal. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Doesn't save too much time. You can just get the crystal here, go up here, to the left, fall here, and then just go straight down to the goal. So yeah, that's space A. There's just decent number of skips that you can choose to do or not do. It's up to you. Alright, move on to space B, the shortest space level. There's not much in terms of skips here, just optimizing stuff. So you start off just by doing the normal movement. You might want to take it a bit slowly here just because of the weird geometry and angles of the path. Get the checkpoint here, go forward, get this crystal. From here, you can do something like jump to the middle platform and then jump here without moving either of the platforms. Like here, if you want to just do this, and then go like that. But I don't do that, it's a bit risky. You can try it out if you want, but what I do in runs is what the safest way is, just to pull down the platform, get the crystal, push up the platform, and go here. From here, you can go slowly over this path to the right. What I do, oh, that's angled, I forgot. So here, when you get here, right over here, if I can actually land the jump, I usually I line myself up with the path and I launch myself to the right. See, I didn't line myself up very well. I have to be slightly farther down. So like this. Get right here, hug the wall, fall straight down the middle to get to this crystal. So you can just avoid the things on the side. Just go down to the middle, get the crystal, go down to the left. You want to go around here and get this checkpoint here. And you can jump straight from the checkpoint here to this crystal here, or you can just go around. It's up to you. I don't think this jump's that hard. It's not that risky. And here, I like to launch myself off the first slope here, since it's not slanted, straight onto the flat platform at the end here. This one, then I'm standing up right here, so I like to go, I can just show it off. I like to go like that, and then land on the conveyor belt. Or sometimes with enough speed, I can just go straight to the conveyor belt. Or not. I usually land on that platform first. Land on the conveyor belt, go down here, get this crystal, and then finish. Or if you don't want to do that launch, then you can just go slowly, but be careful because these guys, first one's slanted down, second one's slanted up. So just be careful because then you can fall off like that. But yeah, you can just go along them and then get the crystal and then finish normally as well. So yeah, that's space B. Space B is pretty much just more straightforward level in space. Now for space C. So you're probably going to want to learn some stuff in space C, because there's some longer sections that have no crystals that you can skip, right? So you start off by going down normally, and what I like to do here is just stick to this wall here, climb up, and get the crystal. Then from here, you want to jump over to where that crystal is, straight ahead, on top of that structure there. Or you can okay, so here, I'll show you the way I do it. I jump and land like right here. You could also, here, let me just get back to where I was really quick. You can also roll off and then pull back and then land on the face and then go up again and then get the crystal. Either works. I would definitely recommend trying to learn that movement, learn the movement here, and then just jump right here, or just try and stick against the wall. Probably another thing that you could do now that I think about it is just get this, fall down to the right and just tilt straight up, and then you'll get the wall. So, experiment with that stuff, see what's most comfortable for you, but that's the most direct route to getting those two crystals. Otherwise, you could skip the, you could not do the first skip of like sticking to the wall and going up here, and the alternate movement isn't that slow. You can just go around this, and then come back to the left, and then go here. But I definitely recommend trying to find a comfortable way for you to get from here to the structure on the top right, towards the next crystal that I got. This structure here. I would recommend either doing that jump or just finding a comfortable way for you to fall forward and climb up that part. Just like, again, use the other way that I showed, just do this and then climb up to it. Because if you don't do that, the movement to the left here, you can do it instead. It is pretty slow though. I don't even remember how to do this movement very well. And it's a bit risky, just like going like this. And climbing back up to the right. And then climbing up the structure. So you can do that movement, but I would definitely recommend experimenting with some form of either of the two skips that I mentioned at the start, since that'll save a decent amount of time. So after that, just want to climb up normally. Just go back and forth until you get to the top right up here. So what I like to do here is once I get this checkpoint, I like to jump to the left and either land on the last moving block or right past it to get to the crystal. So jump like this. And then if the moving block was there, I could bounce on top of it like this, and then land right here. That's what I like to do, just to skip dealing with the moving blocks entirely. If you want to go through it, then you can just wait for the blocks to open up and just go straight through. Or if your balls is slightly slower and it's a bit riskier to do that, you can go through 2, wait for this to switch, and then go through the last one. Just see what you're comfortable with based on the speed of your ball. And you go down here. The skip that I like to do is jump straight from here to the crystal right there in the bottom left. So just right here. Or you can just go around, up to you. Just see if you experiment with that maybe and see if you can get that consistent, or you can just go around. So then you just go back and forth here. Get the checkpoint and stick against this wall. Now once you get this wall, again, here's another jump I do. I jump straight up to here. Or if you don't want to do that jump, then you can just go around, go up here, get the crystal. It's up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. Once you get here, so your goal is to get that crystal, and then there's a checkpoint right after these moving platforms. So what I like to do is wait for this to line up, then angle, like fall, like I'd say like angle 45 degrees down, and you should get the crystal and then fall straight onto the checkpoint. Okay, so I angled it a bit too much there. So maybe a little bit less than 45 degrees. You want to angle your Wiimote, like 30 degrees or something. So you go like this, and then fall down onto the checkpoint. You can do that, or here, let me get back to where I was. All right, I'm bad. Let me just jump back up to where I was really quick just to show. If you want to just go down them slowly, you can just go like this, and then fall into the checkpoint. That works too. Either method is fine. But it's just the one I showed at the start is the faster method. So then when you go here, get this crystal over here, and there's one last skip that you can do. There's a couple methods. So essentially, you want to get across this gap, straight ahead. So basically, go here, get this crystal, and you want to go across this gap. Just a couple methods, like I said. So you can jump, or you can just go across it and clip off the wall. So the jump strat's like this. You just jump across here and land here. From here, you want to just fall straight into this pipe here. The other method is where you angle your Wiimote a little bit more than 45 degrees, I'd say, and just clip off the wall on the other side of the gap, land, and then just move straight into the pipe. So like, this is the one I do in runs. This, and then right there. So yeah, the wall clip strat is the one I do in runs currently. I used to do the jump one. The jump strat's a bit inconsistent though, because if you jump too far back, you can hit an invisible wall and fall to your death. I'll see if I can show an example of that happening. So like right there, I hit an invisible wall. It didn't screw me over, but it can. So I'd be careful if you want to do the jump strat. Invisible wall collisions can happen when the intersection between a wider path, such as the square block on the right side, and the thinner path on the left. If you try and jump right at the intersection, I just hit an invisible wall right there. So I would recommend, if you want to try the skip, try finding that angle for the wall clip strat and going like that and just rolling straight into the pipe here. If you don't want to do either of those skips, they don't save that much time, so you don't have to per se. Then you can just go up here, go to the right, go around like normal, and then you can go fall straight into the pipe, or you can just fall down the slant here, go down through here, and then finish it off. And that's Space C. I definitely recommend practicing that one. It's definitely one of the hardest levels in the run. Alright, Space D. So for Space D, there's a few things to do at the start. The general fastest movement at the start is to fall down here, get this crystal, and jump to this one. You can go around if you're not consistent with the jump. You can just go down here and then go around. It's up to you. Now, a pretty fast way to skip, to do a skip here is you want to jump to this crystal down here, right? So like right this, and then get the crystal. What was I saying? So you don't have to do this jump. You can also try and roll down onto this platform, and then go here and get the crystal. That's probably the safest alternative. Just watch and wait until that platform is at its lowest point, and then just roll down onto it, go over here, and wait till the platform here pushes you up to get the crystal. If you don't want to do that, again, you can just roll into this one and then wait for all of them. That's pretty slow. I would not recommend that. Definitely, I'd say, come on. I'm bad. Rolling off of here onto this platform here is probably the safest way. That's still pretty fast. So once you get this crystal here, you have a few movement options. Okay, so the way that I like to do it, I do a couple of things. I do one or two things depending on what I'm feeling like. I like to either jump from here up towards the right. Let's see, at the very top right of my screen, you can see there's a cannon there. That's where you want to go next. So you jump. I just jump up to that, over to that area, and then kind of just land right here, and then go into the cannon. So another thing that I like to do, if I'm not, sometimes moving platforms can eat your jumps. They're just sometimes awkward to jump off of, I've found. So a more consistent way for me that's still about as fast, I get the crystal, I jump onto it, reset instantly, and then jump around this pillar on the right. So like this, and then just go straight into the cannon. Another possible method that I've been going for, that I might be starting to implement in runs now, is here's a harder strat that you can do, is if you get the crystal, reset, you want to hold 135 degrees, so basically upside down to the right as such, and you will be able to, like right after you reset, you can fly over the wall, and then you gradually correct your angle back to flat, and if you do it early enough, you'll be able to land right on the checkpoint right here. So I'll see if I can do it first try. So like this. Yeah. So it's a bit tough to undo, because getting that angle off the starting platform is a bit awkward sometimes. But if you want to try that, go ahead. But that's generally all the variations for the start of Space D. So again, the safest, easiest variation that I would recommend is just to go here, jump, get this crystal here, fall down onto this platform once it's low enough, get this here, and then just do the movement to the end normally. Or just do one of the two jumps, or just do this movement to the end normally. It's up to you if you want to try and jump to skip the that stuff, or if you want to. Actually, now that I think about it, probably an easier way might be to once you get the crystal, as such, reset, and you can jump straight down onto this straight down to this platform here, and then just follow the platforms, and then go up here. Or again, I think this is pretty easy as well. It's just up to you. If you want to experiment and see a jump combination that works for you after getting the crystal, whether it's jumping into the crystal, resetting, and then jumping to this platform, or jumping over here. Or again, I just want to review everything. Jump here, and then just jump over here, or just do the movement on the moving platforms normally. It's really up to you which one you want to do. Those are kind of different jumps that you can do to skip this movement at the end here. So just do whatever's comfortable for you. So once you do all that, go into the cannon, and then you can actually skip all these cannons if you want, if you're really good at jumps, just like something crazy. But like usually, I'm not that consistent at like jumps where you need a lot of height to get skips, so I don't really do them. The only one I've tried in runs is this one here, since you don't need a lot of height for it, and the landing platform's pretty big, so just like that, and you can get up here. But I would definitely recommend just taking all the cannons, at least at first. There's no reason. They save a couple seconds per cannon skip, so it's not really worth it. One skip that I do coming up is I'm going to land, and as I land, I'm going to tilt my controller almost upside down, but slightly angled to the left. And then as I start to rise up, I'm going to slowly correct it back to flat. And what it's going to do is it's going to give me height to, I can't even show it on the camera right now. Wait, let me see if I can. Okay, well, here. I'll just show it off. I'm just going to fall upwards, then correct my angle so I can land on a platform higher up and then get a crystal. So like this. And then see, I messed it up because I was angled too far upside down. And I'm just going to, I had a feeling I wouldn't get this first try. But yeah, the crystal that you, here, I'm just going to show it one more time. So like this, and like this. And it's pretty tight because I almost died. I was in the air for like 1.3 seconds, I want to say. If I was in the air for like another 0.2 seconds, I would have died. And that death is pretty bad because you start all the way back down here. So that's a pretty tough skip. Saves like 4 seconds, I think. So only go for it if you're really confident with it, because it loses like, I want to say 10 to 15 if you miss it. So yeah, if you don't want to do that skip, you just land up here, just go along the path, and land in here. And then it's a way to optimize this section. Just jump to this crystal, and then jump straight right, but slightly down, and you'll land like right about here. And then that's all the. There's only 2 crystals up on these platforms, the one at the very start and the one in the middle. So you can just get the one at the start, jump to the one in the middle, and then jump to the end of the section. And then there's the next part. You don't want to do those jumps, that's also okay. I'll just show the normal movement. You can also do just, the first jump's easier than the second, so you can just do the first jump and then just do that second half normally. It's up to you. But again, the jumps are pretty risky at the top, so it's up to you. I wouldn't recommend them for a newer player. So just wait for these to line up. Also, side note, if you're good with small jumps, if the moving block is out of your way but the platform is too low, you can just jump right up onto the lip. So I'll just show it. So if it's like this, you can just jump here and then keep going, and then the next one will be up by the time you get there. So then yeah, so you can just go try the jumps, the big jumps, or you can just do it normally with maybe a couple small jumps mixed in to just get over the little ledges that are created from the moving platform moving up and down, right? So yeah, that's that section. Hope I explained that well. And now there's one last skip that you can do here. Essentially, go into the pipe. I'm gonna do it while I explain the thing. Go into the pipe and then stop. Like hold directly sideways so you get yourself stuck in the pipe. Slowly climb back up, and then as you get up to the nozzle part, you want to hold. I go all the way back here. You just want to hold 45 degrees down and right just to keep sticking to the surface. You don't want to go like flying out like I just did, right? So hold on, let me get back to where I was just to show it off. So fall down, stick to the side after you get the crystal. What you want to do is you want to fall out off to the side. Then go slightly forward or back, whichever is your preference, just so you can land. Here, I'll just try and show you where I would land. So you want to fall out to the right, and then correct back to normal right after you fall out, pretty much. So like this motion. You want to land on top of this structure right here. See, I held slightly down as I was correcting back to horizontal, which means I landed on the back half of this. So land right on the back half, and you want to fall down to the safe section right below it. You can also tilt slightly forward to land on the front half. You don't want to do it like straight to the right, because then it'll be ambiguous which side you hit. And then you'll have to react to which side you hit and then correct your momentum to fall down to the safe platform below. So if you choose one, then you can hit like know which one you're hitting, and then slightly angle. Like let's say I hit the back half after I angle slightly back. After I fall off of the structure, I want to hold slightly forward to fall back onto the safe area with the railings. So I'll show it again. So I'm going to try and fall slightly forward here. So I'm going to fall out slightly forward and correct. And I missed it completely. Sometimes you miss the structure completely and you fall straight down here. But if you collide with the structure, whichever side you land on, you want to hold slightly, like if I land on the front side, then I want to hold slightly back as I'm falling off of it to land on this section here. And if you land on the back half, you want to fall slightly forward after you fall off to land on this section here. Or sometimes you just land straight on. There's a nice backup that I like to do if I miss this skip. It's a pretty hard backup, but what I do is this. So I like jump backwards and right, and then slowly curve myself back forward. And I sometimes hit this wall, and sometimes don't. Sometimes just land right on the platform, depending on the angle of jump I get, like this. So there, I'm hitting the wall because I'm correctly lining up the jump. So that's a nice backup I like to do if I miss the skip. If you don't want to go for that skip, since it saves like, I want to say... And by the way, all the time saves I'm saying are assuming max stats flashball. If you use something with lower stats, it will save more time for you because the normal movement will be slower. And again, experiment with all these skips with your own stats, because some of these skips, I think pretty much all the skips are possible with any decently fast stats for flashball. For all the skips I've explained so far, unless I've specifically mentioned, hey, this won't work with lower stats, just experiment with it. But yeah, just in case, always test it out. So if you don't want to do the skip, just fall through. Slight optimization here is just to jump over the wall to the right, or you can just go around if you're not consistent with jumps. Just make sure not to fall through anything here. stick yourself to the wall here, and then whichever way you go, up or down, same speed. You just go around. You can go, going through the inside is faster, and you can go all the way up here and then just fall down to the platform here. A slight optimization is to just, when you get right about here, just kind of start to go up faster and fall off, and then come down like that. So that's how you do the movement for that section. And then for the ending, go as fast as you're comfortable with. This gets a bit narrow, but yeah. So you can either you can just fall straight to the goal here, or if you're going a bit faster, you can hit the back wall and then come back to the goal. So that's Space D. That is a long level. Okay, and then Space E is going to be a bit longer, but I'm going to actually explain this level with Panda, since if you're using a decently fast flashball, it's definitely easier to do this level with Panda, just because there's a lot more air control with Panda in general. What was I gonna say? So if your stats on flashball are low enough to the point where you're comfortable with doing these strats with your flashball, great. You don't need to switch out. You don't need to quit Space D, go into the menu, and then pick Panda Ball. But if you think that your flashball is a bit too fast for comfort for Space E and the strats I'm going to show, use Panda. It's up to you. But I'm going to show stuff with Panda just because it's more consistent to show examples. Currently, I use flashball in runs, and I'm going to show the route that I use in runs. I'm just going to do it with Panda now, but this route I would be doing with flashball. So I start out jumping up to the top left, getting this crystal, coming down, getting this one, reset. And I'm going to get the 2 crystals in front of me. Gonna reset as soon as I get the second crystal. I'm just waiting a bit just for just to show just to be clear about what I'm doing. And I jump to the right, get this one, jump forward, and stick to this wall here. Then I go slowly over the top to get this crystal, and fall off to the next crystal right past it, as you can see there. So like this, and then land right here. Then I just go straight across this. If you go like, I go on the upper half and just go straight across, and then it works. Go across the bridge, get this checkpoint here, and then I go up the wall here, down the hole, jump from here to this crystal over here, and then here to this crystal over here. You can also, I was gonna go back to show a different jump that you can do there if you want to do this route. A slightly safer second jump that you can do here is just to jump to the platform right here, and just go around the gap instead of jumping over it. It's up to you. So I get this crystal, jump to this crystal right here, then I reset. Then I jump here and get this checkpoint. And then I do this path normally, just going straight left and then weaving through the lava. The checkpoint, get this crystal, go over here, jump from here to here and reset. Jump up here, reset. Jump up to this crystal. Alright, I haven't done this with Panda in a little while. Come on. Reset. Jump up to this crystal, and I didn't explain that, sorry, as I was doing it. And then just fall down the pipe, and if you're using Panda, you want to go, just go angle slight forward and alternate between slight forward and slight back, so you fall through the pipe faster. You avoid contact with the walls. So just go back and forth between forward and back very slightly, and you'll just fall straight down. So normally with Panda, if you do that route well, you should be able to get some time between 50 seconds and a minute. If you do it with flashball, you can usually get between 44 to 50 seconds is usually what I average on good runs. 44, 47 on deathless runs. Now, to show easier alternatives. The slowest alternative I'm going to show here will still get you, I played through it with Panda with relatively slow movement. You can still easily consistently get under 2 minutes in deathless runs. So I'm going to show some easier strats now. The first half of the level, generally the same route. So you want to start off by getting the 2 on the left here. Okay, so an easy way to do this is go up, get this crystal, fall and stick to the left wall here, and then slowly climb up and then correct it. So do that motion. Then go down, put the crystal over here and reset. And after that, you can either jump to this crystal on the right like I did before, or you can just go around normally. Get this crystal here, reset. Then you want to fall from here up to the magnet on the upper left. like that. You get the magnet. Here, fall down, get this crystal. Go up here, get this one here, and then here you can go around, get the checkpoint, then go up and then left, or you can stick to this wall here, and then climb up it. So I think that's relatively the same route as the start, only just a couple of different strats just to make it more consistent. The going to the magnet is actually, if you practice that, then that's probably the most important thing that skips a lot of the start. So yeah, just do that movement. Go through here, just go, you can weave through it or just go across one of the gaps if you want. Doesn't really matter. Whatever works for you. Get this crystal. Go up here. You can do this jump like I did before. If you want to try and do the jump, an easier way to do it is to wait for the platform to go to the left and then jump, so you have a bigger platform to land on, because it'll be connected. If you don't want to do the jump, you can just wait for the platform. Now here, you can go down. That platform will take you up to the area with the magnet right up there, and then you go all the way around. That movement's safe and fine if you want to do it, but a way to skip all that and save like 30 seconds probably or something, because a lot of these skips save a lot of time, is just to follow the left wall here and just climb up it and land right here. And that skips that entire section. So then you go down here, around, and then if you want to jump to that crystal over there and reset, like here's, I'll just show it. So you could still do this movement if you want. Jump here, reset, and then jump up to the checkpoint, like straight up to the checkpoint right here. You can do that. I'll show a slightly easier variation of that. So let me just get back to where I was, ignore my movement. So if you don't want to do that jump, just go across here. You can go across both of these at the same time, like I just did, even with Panda. If you want to play it slightly safer, you can just go across one, you can wait, and you go across the other. And then go up here, move the platform to the right, go here, and the crystal's right about here. Now again, what you could do is, if after you do that movement, you can reset and then jump up to this checkpoint here, if you're consistent with this jump. If you're not, then that's fine. If you don't want to do that jump, then just pretend I just did all that movement on the left before. Go here, and then just go straight right to the checkpoint. The jump to the checkpoint doesn't save that much time if you do all that, if you're already at that place with all that movement anyway. For some reason, okay, I'm just gonna show off one more slight variation. If you're consistent with the first jump, but not the jump to the checkpoint for some reason, you can just jump to this crystal and then just go to the right as well. You can pick and choose which jumps you want to do there, but those are basically all the variations. Once you get to this checkpoint, no matter how you do it, you just want to do this coming section normally. Get the checkpoint, go up here to the right. Now, a slightly easier variation, I remember I showed you before, is I got these two crystals and then I jumped to the last three individually. What you can do is you can just try and get this crystal, and if you're comfortable with this jump, do this jump, get this and reset. And then you can jump from here to here. Because the last two jumps are like the hardest part of this level. If you don't want to do the last two jumps, that's perfectly fine. So do the jump if you want to do the jump that I just showed before, like here. So I'll show it one more time. So here's like an intermediate route. So like you go here, go over here, get the crystal here, jump, get the crystal here, reset, go up here, jump to this place, and then just finish the level normally. It's not that slow, right? Just go all the way up here. Because the last two jumps, if you're not good at them, they can lose you a lot of time from you trying them over and over again. So you can just finish the level normally like I do here. Now. So just like that, and then fall to the end. Right. Okay. So here. One last thing. Of course I got that checkpoint. Okay. Don't want this checkpoint. I want this checkpoint. So. Wait, will it put me on at that checkpoint? Yeah, okay, good. This is what I wanted. So, pretend that you just got to, that you just got to this checkpoint right here after doing the lava movement, right? So if you don't want to do the jump from this crystal to that crystal right on the path in front, that's also fine. You can skip it and just do the normal movement for the rest of the level entirely. That's fine. And if you do this along with the easier versions of all the strats I mentioned before, you can get sub 2 minutes on this level pretty consistently, as long as you just have reasonable movement and you don't die, then you like I did one try and got a minute 55 with these strats, with all the easiest strats that I showed. So those are all the variations that I would recommend for Space E.